How are you doing today? Um, I ran across a live speaking about a young man named Stephen Seal who recently took his own life while in the care of the Montgomery City jail in Montgomery, Alabama. And I felt like the details and the events that happened was something that should be shared, that you guys should be made aware of. And it's a story that everyone should know about. I'll be speaking to a close friend of Stephen pretty soon, Mr. Harlow Codwell. I'd like for you guys to share this live so we can get the viewers up and you guys can hear Mr. Harlow's side of the story. Give it a few minutes and we'll get started. Give me a minute, Harlow. I'm going to share these live. Give me a few minutes. Hey, what's up, Mom? How you doing? Just gonna give it a few minutes, you guys. Please share it live, share this live, share this live. Something that you guys all need to hear about. All right. Hey, Sabrina, what's up, Sunky? We're gonna get started in a minute, Harlow. I'll add you in just a second. Y'all please share this live with individuals, share it with groups. This is a story that needs to be heard. And Montgomery City Jail most definitely needs to be held accountable. In any jail in the world that's mistreating individuals that leads to their death or lack of medication or anything of that sort. Give it about one more minute and I'm gonna add them in. Jamel, please share this live. And Harlow, you share it too. Sabrina, Sunky, you guys share this live for me, please. All right, Harlow, I'm getting ready to add you in. 1 second. Hey, Harlow, how you doing, man?
Hey, how are
I'm
you?
doing pretty good. I guess could you start and fill everybody in on what happened, and explain what happened to your friend and when this happened?
Um, my partner, his name was Steven Seal. Um, he'd been incarcerated since February 27th total. Um, that was the day he went in. And at first he was in Autauga County Metro Jail, and once he was released from there, he came to the Montgomery City Jail. Um, and while he was there, Steven was a very depressed person. They denied him his Celexa, which is an antidepressant. They denied him his gabapentin because he told me on the phone that they said they couldn't give it to him because it had an opioid in it, which I found out later it doesn't. And they wouldn't give me things for his Parkinson's disease either because Stephen would shake real bad. He had a form of wolf coat hypertension, and he shook like he had swallowed a vibrator. Um, and he wasn't given medicine for any of that, and the stuff he was given didn't help. It caused him to um, get dime-sized sores, multiple sores all over his legs. I've got pictures of them. I've showed them to several people. I posted them on my Facebook. If anybody would like to go take a look at the photos I'm talking about. Um, and not only while he was in there did he not receive his medicine, there were inmates that Stephen told me on the phone. And you got to understand before I tell you what I'm going to tell you that Stephen Seal and I, we were together for 8 years. And when I say we were together for 8 years, there were some times in our relationship where we were together months at a time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I knew when Stephen was lying to me, he knew when I was lying to him. And we both, and vice versa, knew when each other were telling the truth. And Stephen told me that there were inmates in there because I guess they let their inmates run their asylum. I'm not sure what they have going on down there for real. But he told me that there were inmates and they're calling him out of his name, calling him names. He was homosexual, and you could tell Stephen was feminine um, just by his beautiful hair and his pearly white teeth. But there were inmates in there calling him out of his name. I'll let you use your imagination as to what they were calling you, but I will tell you that it started with the letter F. Um, and they were also threatening to rape him. Now, Stephen was scared to be raped. Because it had happened to him one time before in the dilapidated old wreck of a jailhouse they have in Autauga County. So he was scared of that happening to him, and judging by the bruises, because he does have bruises on his face. He has a big bruise, and I'll just go ahead and tell you about it. He's got a big bruise that starts like right here about his jawline. It probably goes down a little further. I didn't move his head or anything when I seen him, but it starts right here about his jawline, like right over here on this side, and it goes all the way up right here, and about right here, it splits like this, and there's a white line, so you could tell that it's multiple contact bruises that he had, and it goes all the way around the other side of his face. Now, to me, that it looks like to me, and if you'll use your imagination like I am, it looks like an inmate or someone came up behind him and grabbed that man by the back of the head and slammed his face down in one of them metal commodes in that jailhouse just as hard as they could. And it scared Stephen. And Stephen tried to call me 4 times the day he committed suicide. The day before, he was able to get through to me because because a guard found it in the goodness of their heart to give Stephen a phone call. Well, the day that he committed suicide, what has led me to the conclusion, because I know Stephen, the day he committed suicide, he called me 4 different times. Neither time he could get through to me because they wanted 25 cents a minute down at that jailhouse. That indicated to me, especially when I found out he committed suicide, and especially when I saw the bruises on his face that looked like one of those inmates slammed his face down into a toilet bowl. It looks to me, and it is very apparent to me at this moment in time, that Stephen Seal was scared because he was scared that whoever attacked him was coming back to rape him because he's had that done before. And because he couldn't get a hold of me because they wanted 25 cents a minute plus taxes and fees, he got scared and he went back to his cell and he hung himself. He committed suicide. And I know he was scared because when I told Stephen, I was Stephen's overseer on his SSI, and he would have got $750 on the 3rd of April. This happened on the 29th, and I told Stephen the day before it happened, baby, I'm coming to get you. And excuse the pun, folks, but when Daddy spoke, Stephen knew that Daddy was going to do. And to top all of this off, okay, just to make you drop your jaw a little further, because I know you've got to be sitting there like, this man really had to go through this. To top it all off, they have a videotape of Stephen committing suicide. Now, if you've kept up with any of my videos, and I'm sure Adrian has, and he can tell you that everything that I have said has come from a very logical and educated point of view. And logic tells you that if they had a video camera, if someone is going to hang themselves like Stephen did, and while that camera's on there and is on him, that camera easily picks up him making the apparatus, positioning the apparatus wherever he positioned it at, and it also shows him doing the job. And you mean to tell me that through him getting it ready, hanging it wherever he hung it, and then doing it, you mean through all that time? Because it takes a minute to get a noose ready. I know how to make one. It takes a minute. And you mean to tell me all that time it had to take him like 10 minutes to make. The only thing that I'm wondering is during those 10 minutes and the time he did it, who was supposed to be watching those cameras? Whoever was supposed to be watching those cameras clearly was not doing their job, folks. And they didn't do their job for a long time because, judging by the cuts, because Stephen had cuts on his neck from where he had hung himself. And the only thing I could figure that he could do it with was a jumpsuit or a bed sheet or something like that. But when you get right down to it, Stephen did weigh like 175 pounds. And facts are facts. When someone does what Stephen does, your body's going to jerk, it's going to twitch. And judging by Stephen's body weight, I would say, just an educated guess, just my opinion, I wouldn't it wouldn't surprise me at all if Stephen hung in that cell before they came and cut that poor man down all of 30 to 45 minutes, judging by the cuts and how deep they were on his neck. His body weight began to pull him down because gravity works on us all and pulls us all down to the ground. And he hung there so long, 30, 45 minutes, I imagine, and until they came in there and cut him down. And that's just sad. And another thing that's sad, because I mentioned earlier that Stephen was on Celexa, another thing that's real sad is to think that the Montgomery City Jail can't afford, and you can look this up, a 100 tablet supply. Stephen only took one a day, which means that he would have had a 100-day supply. It's sad to think that the city of Montgomery jailhouse on North Ripley Street could not afford $956 to get one inmate their antidepressant medicine. And in my opinion, folks, and this is going to sound real elaborate too, when you take someone and you lock them up, you automatically assume the responsibility to house them, feed them, clothe them, furnish them with lights, gas, water, toiletry, hygiene products, and the medicine that their doctor prescribed, not the medicine that you think they need, and not the medicine that The jail's crackpot doctor, who, let's face it, probably sees about 200 inmates a day, thinks they need the medicine that is prescribed to them by their doctor. Because when you get right down to it, the jail's crackpot doctor doesn't really know their medical history now, does he? That's right. No, he doesn't. He doesn't know their medical history at all. Taking someone off their medicine, changing their medicine, can cause adverse side effects like, I don't know, suicide in this case. And regardless what the cost is, if you don't have the money, okay, I don't care if it's $1,000 a pill for generic, okay. Now I don't expect them to go out and buy the top of the line medicine, but if the generic pills and that's all you can get your hands on, if it costs $1,000 a pill, if you don't have the money to afford the medicine that they need and the care that they deserve, because they are human lives, then you have no business having them locked up. I am trying to get the city jail, and I invite everybody to come to my Facebook page, Harlow Caldwell, and support me in this effort because I'm trying to get the city jail of Montgomery to change their telephone policy for inmates that are in there that can't handle it. And whether you or them or anybody is aware of it, and I know there's a lot of people who have a cold heart towards this situation, and I realize it's jail. It shouldn't be a walk in the park, but it also shouldn't be a place where you go to die either. Okay. There are some people in jail who just can't handle being in jail. They're feminine like Steven. They walk around and they cry all day, and they're scared that other doctor or their other inmates are going to hurt them. And sometimes they need to be able to have a free phone call whenever they want it to reach out to someone on the outside that loves them, or to reach out to someone on the outside that will actually help them, because let's face it, the guards down there are all incompetent anyways. So I'm trying to get them to change and be more observant of their medication policy, their phone call policy against not only LGBT inmates, because those are the main ones, but any inmate, regardless if they're gay or straight, who cannot handle being in there. And there are some inmates that are out there that are like that. And another thing that I'm trying to get them to change, and I don't think this is asking too much, and I'm sure you won't either. After all this is said and done, and I'm sorry my video keeps doing that, I keep getting notifications. Now, after all this is said and done, I don't think it's too much to ask, because they have not paid one red cent, folks, to Stephen's family or any other of the numerous families of people who have lost their lives in there. Okay, not one red cent. And the very least that they could do is to finally admit that they have failed and to honor the lives of the people who have lost theirs in there, and put a big plaque right there on the front lawn, right out front for everybody to see, right next to the one for the fallen officers, that says, in honor of the numerous lives lost within the confines of the Montgomery City Jail. And then, just to make me, myself, feel a little bit better about riding by that dilapidated old wreck of a building, I would really like to see the initials SMS for Stephen Matthew Seal right down at the bottom left-hand corner. That way I know that it was put there for him and they didn't get away with doing him or anybody else wrong. And because Stephen's gone and he lives in my heart, which is on the left-hand side of my body, right there in the left-hand side of the corner, in the bottom corner, it should say SMS right on that plaque, that they should have to put out there to admit finally that they have failed. They have failed me. They have failed numerous families, because jail is not supposed to be a place where you go to die. Jail is a place for rehabilitation and to be taught a lesson. And I understand it shouldn't be a walk in the park, but it shouldn't be a walk into the dark either, folks. And Adrian, I thank you for having me on here.
No problem at all, man. I just want everybody to share this video,
And
go to his page.
yes, I encourage everybody just as soon as it's over, please get my message out here because there's a lot of people that Adrian know that I don't know. Please hit share on this. You can go to my Facebook, Harlow Caldwell. That's HarlowCaldwell. I also have three hashtags. There's hashtag justice for Stephen, and that's Stephen with a V, not a PH. He would want me to say that. And there's hashtag enough is enough. And there's also hashtag it's time for a change because, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, at 40,000 views, a lot of people agree with me that it is truly time for a change. And the change is going to occur right here in Montgomery, Alabama, if I have anything to do with it.
I appreciate you taking up your time, man. Anything you need from me or my friends or associates, man, just give me a holler. I just saw the story and I want to help you get it out there, man. You're my prayers.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who has taken the time to listen to this. And until I see everybody next time, I'd just like to say thank you and God bless and stay safe.
God bless you too, man.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, of course, this kind of issue, a lot of people gonna have their different opinions, but I'm just freelancing. I'm not trying to do journalism for nobody. I ain't trying to get no views. I ain't trying to get paid. I just want to talk about stuff that matters. And for people to go to jail and to die, to lose their life, to be mistreated, it ain't right. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I don't care what you did in life, even the worst murderer, rape. I don't care what crime you committed. Nobody needs to go to jail and be neglected of medications, dogged out, mistreated. None of that. It ain't right. Especially denying someone their depression medication or whatever medication they need leads to them hanging themselves. How do you have time, 20 or 30 minutes, to create a noose, to position it, to hang yourself? Who's watching the camera? Shouldn't they be fired? Shouldn't they be held responsible? But I guess as a whole, the Montgomery City Jail should be, Montgomery Police Department or the city jail should be held responsible. And I just encourage you guys to share this story, share this live, go over to his page and just, if you feel the same way or any kind of way, let's just be a part of change because police have been mistreating and beating people and causing people to die for years. It's not going to ever stop unless we find some way to try to stop it. They can't get a free pass on doing this stuff. We don't get a free pass on doing what we want to do in life. So let's just start doing things in life to help people, caring about things that matter. Stop just living in the moments. Be awoke for things that are important in life. Because we spend a lot of time. I'm guilty. We all are. Spend a lot of time being focused and awoke for things in life that don't matter at all. Find one cause in life that means something to you and take a stand for it. Just at least one thing. I challenge you to find one thing in life that you are for and stand for it. And then there'll be another person, and another person, and another person. And then in the masses, we can make a change. You know, a couple people in the last few weeks or months are like, oh, you're an advocate now or something. No, I'm not an advocate of anything. I'm just an advocate of people, of right and wrong. I am not perfect. I just want to see, I just took a long time for me to get away. For me to get away and to move and for me to get my eyes wide open and have peace and see things from a different place, on new soil, where I'm at now. The most peace of my life. And all these issues in the world, I used to say, oh, they never happened to me, they never happened around. No, but now they're coming close to home. And all of us should be friends and focus on being friends and family and caring for each other and all, erasing all the hate and the craziness and our own race killing our own race and all this stuff. It's not even necessary. It's not even a black-white thing. We all are family, whether you want to admit it or not. We should all care for each other. All that time for hate and all that, push it aside. We got children coming up, the next generation, and we're going to pass that hate and all that stuff right on to the next generation. I'm not going to pass it on to mine. I'm very proud of what mine have grown to be and what I hope my nieces and nephews I want my family to be. It's just so much sad. We are living in our last days, whether you guys want to admit it or not. So it's time to. All lives do matter. They truly do. It's not a Black Lives Matter. It's all lives do matter. I don't care white, black, red, straight, gay, whatever. I love everybody. I don't care. I'm not a judge, or I've never been a judge, but I know a lot of judges. But the day will come that you guys will be judged by the ultimate judge. And we all know who that is, whether that be God, whether it be Buddha, whether it be Allah, whatever that will be the day of your judging. So I just challenge you all to find a cause in life or something to fight for. Most definitely this issue needs to be shared, and someone does need to be held accountable for what has happened to this young man, because it's not right. It's clearly not right. And as stories come that I think are important in life, I'll continue to contact people and help them get these stories out. Like I said, I'm a freelance. I don't work for a company. I don't work for an organization. I just work for me. If I see a story I'm interested in, I'm going to bring it to you guys and ask you guys to share it. Um, it's just sad, and I'll continue to scream justice for Antoine Rose. I'll never, ever stop saying that. The 17-year-old young man that was killed by a former Pittsburgh police officer, as many of you may or may not know. He was found not guilty on all charges maybe about 2 weeks ago. Still forever justice for anybody that lost a family member at the hands of a police officer or to street violence. And I guess I was thinking all day today that when I got on this live too, any of my friends, associates, anybody that's involved in violence or gangs or anything, I don't knock anything you do. Just stop letting innocent people die. Why don't why not come together? We are one of the only races, and I'm not a racist, one of the only races that will not come together. And we're doing what a lot of people want us to do. We are killing our own population. They don't have to do it. If you want to be mad at police officers and people that are killing us, be mad at yourself. Be mad at the ones that are the source of the violence. And I'm friends with many of you. Yeah, but I don't judge you. I just hope one day you guys will come out of it. Because there is another way. I don't want to hear you're a product of your environment or none of that. Yeah, most definitely, like you said, it's not about the officers, most definitely, because you can't blame the officers. It's about the jail and the administration, the way things are run, not being ran the way it's supposed to. But life is too short, man. Let's not use that you're a product of your environment, because I know many people that were born and raised around violence, and they grew up not to be the complete opposite. So let's not use product of my environment, or I'm a felon, I've been in trouble, I can't get anywhere in life. Those are lies. I'm living proof. I ain't always been the perfect Adrian, but I've been through some situations, but God brought me where I'm at. You're exactly right. It's just time for unity, and let's just not let it be. We always come together when somebody dies. Let's come together now. People come together so much quicker in death. Yeah. My son wants to join us. Let's bring my son in. What's up,
What
Adrian?
up?
What's up?
What up?
What you
Nothing.
doing?
Just chilling.
Hey, y'all.
Just chilling.
This is my son, y'all. My firstborn. What you got? Go with the baby at?
Nothing. Just chilling.
What catering?
Cadron, he with his auntie Pumpkin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just talking about something that happened. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Oh,
doing
you talking
fine?
about that? I seen that picture of that dude, that boy who got killed up there.
Yeah, Antoine.
Nah, he's still in Pittsburgh. I mean, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
He's still up there now. You know that boy that got? It was a police car, and the police mistook them for somebody else. He hopped out the car and ran, and the police still shot him. He was running the opposite way, and the police still shot him. Yeah, I seen that on the news. So I be watching the news. It's good to watch the news, the political
What they
stuff.
do to the officer?
Nothing.
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 Nothing. Then they got a billboard up there where my dad stayed. It was something crazy. I was just seeing it. He posted it. They were talking about the boy or some shit, or the officer or something like that. But they ain't do nothing to him though.
Hey,
What Marquis said?
he back there in the room. When I come out this live, I'm gonna call you video, okay?
All right,
All right, love you.
all right, let's see.
All right.
All right,
Yeah, that was my child, y'all. What's up? But I encourage y'all to share this live, and it makes no sense. We can't be mad at other people for this stuff because we're doing it to ourselves too. So, you guys have a good evening and share this live.